So, good evening, my cheesy margaritas. This is the Candid Show brought to you by host Shriram. Krishna as my co-host today. So, today we are here to do a second round of impromptu conversations, which we usually have done. Where we did this around like
pretty much it's like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, we did this kind of like the first episode, right? Now the first, I don't know, but we did it very
Speaking about
far
this
back.
addiction and
Yeah, something of some. I don't know I don't know exactly remember what it was, but never mind. I don't care. But okay. So the very first thing that comes to my mind is what I've been thinking at least in this week is that I'm not very happy with recording podcast, man. Like I have to be honest this time. It's been very tiring, I should say. It's not, the passion is not there. Passion is not the same as it was about 20 episodes back. It feels like it's a chore at this point, coming every single day, spending about 3 or 4 hours on Saturday or Sunday evenings, afternoons, and getting extremely tired when I go home. The passion is gone. I don't know why. Probably part of the reason is that I guess people don't hear. I guess I don't have the satisfaction that people actually listen to it, right? Because when you start all this, when you start something new, you don't expect validation. You do that just for the sake of your own happiness. And that's how it was for both of us, at least till we reached halfway, or at least around reaching 30 to 40. Since this kind of the start of the second season, I suppose we've both been not very happy. In the sense that we did episodes, we just put it out just for the sake of actually putting it out. Like the last relationship episode was the only one, I think, which really proved to be good, which really convinced me. But the other episodes which we've been putting out is not honestly up to the mark, or at least up to our mark where we've kept. And that could be due to the reason that we have very high standards usually. So that's partially to blame. But that's been going on in my mind. I don't know what to do. There must be some way to bring it back, suppose. Maybe.
I also think the main reason is that we don't get much views, right? So like whatever the effort we
that's put, the main reason.
The main reason is that we don't get much views. So that makes us, that makes the passion in us to die. So like that is the main reason, and we have talked about this much about quitting, or like we have shown less interest towards recording the episodes. But we are sure that some push would get us to that level.
Yeah, just one small push. It doesn't even need to be this mass. It doesn't need to be this explosion. Just a small push.
Maybe. I think we are missing out something in the part of promotion angle or something.
It is true, because we do not know how to promote stuff. We absolutely
we are still, even though we are in past 1.5 years in this field, we are still newbies, and we are learning day to day. We are learning how to promote stuff and other content, how to create content or whatever the topic. So like this whole reason I think so is because we kind of get tired of seeing these views and other stuff. And
in fact, we just now before recording this, we saw one of our episodes wherein it had like 7 views. It's actually 7. It's not even double digits, and that is very disheartening. That's really disheartening to see when you put so much, when both of us, you take care of the editing side of things, I take care of the audio editing side of things, and when you actually put so much effort into something and you don't reap the reward of it, and obviously we are to blame here. We don't blame any single person. We don't blame any others. We are the sole responsibilities. We are the contributors, I guess, the cause of this. So that was something which I wanted to get out of my heart, I guess. So minor push would help.
So yeah, you're literally begging for
pretty views. Much that's what's happening
but,
now.
That is the reality, but we don't get much views. So like whatever the content you do, views, or in the sense the comments, so like we don't get any comments.
No.
So like it is very rare.
Most of it is from our college friends. That's pretty much it. There is not, there's nobody new. There's nobody who's already not listened to it who listens to us. That's the problem, pretty much.
And we get comments from bots like promote this
that's stuff, pretty much
stuff in our channel also. But I think the major reason why we don't get views is personally I think that we have to change some format, or like seating positions, or like outdoor formats.
We've done 3 seating positions up till now. We've made one there. We made one
like a debate kind of a
we did angle. Everything we could in the given space which we have. It's like, what more do they want? And that does not seem to be the problem apparently, because again, that's the problem. What is the problem is not known to us. We do not know what's the actual problem. If there were an actual problem, we'd actually do something about it. So yeah, okay, I don't want to talk a lot about this. We've been ranting for about 5 or 6 minutes now. So I think that's enough of the rant for now. So what else have we got, Krishna? Anything new happening in your life? Something new? Something to talk about?
So like, speaking about, life. So like, again, lockdown has come and our lives have turned back to how we were, 2 years before. And I hope that everyone are safe at this moment. So like, the COVID is spreading, in a very fast way, and we have to take care of ourselves. And we are still having that 1% of hope that we will do something. We would achieve something in our podcast kind of angle. So like in promotion or something else, or like whatever may be the reason. So like for lack of the clarity, or like something that the content, or I think the content that we are picking up is something very, very good. So like we are picking technical, non-technical.
Yeah, we
so
do
like,
everything.
with contrastingly, so like we are doing everything. But I don't understand why we don't get views. But
I guess it does not appeal to the right kind of audience, or in the sense that we do not have that sort of an audience or at least we don't have people who actually listen to stuff which we talk about. I think that's pretty much it, because at least the people around us which we both know, whom we mutually know, they are not interested to actually, I guess, learn. Nobody wants to listen. That's the problem. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to do the talking. And even if somebody does the talking, nobody is there to listen. So this is just an endless cycle.
That is the reason why we came into YouTube, right?
Exactly,
so
that was the reason.
We could have uploaded our audio files in Anchor and Spotify and other stuff. But the major reason is that people nowadays kind of are moved towards this, watching videos or something visual appealing must be there for them to for us to entertain them. So like that is what people's mentality is towards. So like they don't spend time listening to stuff. So like in foreign countries, like we get views from Indonesia,
yeah,
US,
random people. We get
Canada,
Kenya, so like, right? Kenya was one place. I don't know, etc.
I don't understand this pattern of the reach we get.
I guess the point is that they actually want to try. They want to they have this tendency to try listening to us. Maybe okay, they have this tendency that okay, let's give them a chance. But nobody here wants to give a chance. Nobody. And I have to tell you, there are very little podcasts in India which actually get recognition. I think Ranveer Alabadia's podcast is the only one which I've always been seeing on my Spotify page. There are like a n number of podcasts in India. So many people like us who keep uploading content every day. None of whom which goes past it. It does not even cross that barrier, that initial set of barrier. So I don't know what to do. I don't know how to change things. But the one thing which I do know is we'll keep doing it. That's all. We have probably no other choice. Because obviously, we can't stop. We've come so far. We've done this gig for about 1.5 years now.
Yeah, about 60 to 70 episodes.
Nearly. Yes, nearly 60 or something. So, we're fairly quite a bit experienced, and we don't want to stop, I feel. That would be very unfair on our part as well. Yeah. It would prick on our conscience. So, we'd probably keep going, but probably the intensity would be less unless and until something happens. Something big, some explosion happens.
Groundbreaking. Like in a single night we get million views.
Which is not going to happen, but moving on.
It's an impossible scenario.
Okay, but still, it's good to dream.
But we still hope that we would get more views, and more than views, the comments we get is something that
it's not even the views, so like to be very frank.
One comment per video would encourage us. So that is what we are expecting.
Okay, that's been too long. Okay, it's enough of ranting. We've ranted for about nearly 10 minutes now, so let's stop ranting. So I had this idea in my mind this last week. We kind of talked about the idea of consent. I think even that episode has not come out yet, so that is kind of like what do you say? A spoiler which I'm giving now. We have talked about the idea of consent. I think it was really good. I really enjoyed listening to this. I really enjoyed talking about it.
Video. So before we recorded it before teen relationships.
Yes.
So we had this energy boom in us. So we had this enormous kind of energy, and especially me talking about myself. So I had this never seen before energy.
Some surge of energy coming from God himself.
That kind of energy I had, and I wonder when I would get another kind of
that surge occasionally only happens. You have to pray for it to happen. It only happens when you really want to happen. Yeah, that's the thing.
So I don't know. So we pretty much loved the episode of consent and teen relationship, but we have released teen relationship.
Yes,
and those who didn't have listened to it yet,
we'll probably give that eye thingy on the top. Go see to it. Yeah, you'll enjoy it probably. So okay, what we wanted to talk about was, I guess we should do an episode where we talk about sex ed, like maybe a series on sex education, because as we already talked about, it's very important. It's important for everybody to know what sex education is, because as of right now, not a lot of people in India, not a lot, at least a majority of the people in India don't even know what sex education means. They've not even been exposed to the idea of sex education, and parents don't do their jobs. Parents are technically supposed to teach these things to at least have the talk, You would have seen this.
See it as taboo, right? So like,
I don't
as you told, most of the parents don't accept, kind of teaching these kind of things. So like they would argue that, who are you to teach me? So like, we are grown up like this, and why are you kind of trying to destroy our culture? So like, that would be the
religious argument is what parents would really cling on to when the idea of sex education comes up, right? And the problem is, there is no other place to learn, because we had strong influence to Western media.
And also I think that why they fear, stopping, all these kind of people who, talk about sex education, and why they see it as a taboo is that because they, follow a certain kind of a culture. I'm not saying that we are not part of it, but they're following a certain kind of a culture, and they are afraid that due to the all these influence of other people who
this is just like LGBTQ. To be very frank, that's pretty much it. The inability of certain parents to accept their children for whom they are is kind of the same problem which is kind of happening here. We all know sex exists. We all know millions of people
but also
do it
we
every
classify
day.
Like, even in classrooms we have this boys and girls split up. So like, I think why most of the parents or most of this generation's old people kind of worry about this is because they are afraid that we would change into an next America.
Exactly. So that I think what Krishna told us exactly.
Would, go out.
That's pretty much the reason. But the basic flaw with that reasoning is that some way or the other you are going to see this, right? It is not like you do not see sex. It is as if it's not your eyes just close when any movie, sex scene appears in the movie. You are going to see it at some point in your life, and if that probably came from your parents, that would be better. That's my ideology, or at least that's my way of thinking. And since the parents obviously clearly do not want to engage in this,
by watching all these Hollywood movies, right? So like, I'm talking from their point of view. So like, they think that if something like that occurs, and most of the people are supporting sex education, and not only sex education but also the boys and girls kind of having a very close relationship. So like, all these relationships would come to a boom, and they won't kind of care their parents, or like, these are the main issues. So like, all these parents kind of fear. So like, they fear majorly because their child would mostly in this generation we know that most of the Gen Zs are turning into atheists, so they don't believe in God. So like, this has also seen as a threat from the parents.
Most of the Gen Zs are leftist, right? At least with whom I have seen a lot of Gen Zs inclined to be leftist in this time, and it is totally agreeable, because the entire stance of left is something which parents cannot understand. It is something which is hard to grasp, because the whole idea of
it's up for debate, but also
again, I'm not going to get into the politics of it as to why someone should choose left or right, but that's not the point. The point is, I feel like we have this responsibility. At least we have this as content creators, as influencers. I don't know if we're technically influencers, but okay, never mind. We still are influencers. I guess we have that responsibility to educate people, right? We have a following of 4 people, I say 4 or 5. I know the subscribers are 57. And probably 4 people listen to it every day, and whoever listens to it, thank you. So coming to the point, I feel like that would be a noble deed, and I think I would be excited to talk about something like that. I would be excited to educate someone, because I as Krishna, I'm a really good teacher. I teach a lot of stuff. I teach to most of my friends, so I'm a really good teacher. So I would feel like if we do something of that sort, maybe have a conversation.
It's not pretty like teaching
in the sense,
kind of an aspect.
Like a conversation.
Conversation.
That's pretty much it.
So
probably
like, making people understand.
So like, that's pretty much it. Yes.
If you say like teaching or something, they
probably scared.
Everything, and they don't know anything.
That is true.
So like, that is the classic mentality people would end up understanding. So like, that is the main reason, and also,
maybe have an open conversation about it, right? Something which
And
they
also
would have not
speaking
had.
about this, kind of topic, I think what I'm going to speak is kind of irrelevant. But you told that we have to have conversation with people and stuff. So like not only from speaking to our YouTube subscribers or people watching this video, but also why can't we bring in special guests?
We could. That's a total.
That's a very.
But the disaster news, or there's the beautiful news, is that we don't have guests. We don't have anyone who could bring. We don't have.
We could probably try it in our college or
we
some
could,
stuff.
but we both know. We both mutually know people and certain people, and those certain people do not bode well with the idea of talking.
Let's start searching.
But the idea is good. And I would appreciate if any of you are listening to this would want to be a part of something like this. We could set up something of a sort of a Zoom meeting, I suppose. We could do the entire thing virtually as well. Because if there were someone who actually wanted to...
And to mention that we are living in Salem, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, we probably, I think, never clarified it. Yeah. Only our friends know, and only those people who listen as well. So obviously you would not have to move to this place, come to Salem and stuff. We
can also have it in Zoom, and
that's it.
That would be pretty much convenient for both of us also.
Yeah.
We have since done everything on Zoom. So like we have watched movies, we have done everything.
Yeah.
We basically virtually lived there.
Yes, pretty much.
The entire duration of the lockdown.
Lockdown. Yeah.
So yeah, we can also bring in guests and have this kind of.
I've always been thinking about that idea, since like the start of the time, like at least...
I think about 3 people sitting in the sofa and having a conversation or a debate about something. So like, it would be more interactive.
Yeah, like I think as a viewer, you would probably enjoy to have much more like a diverse perspective on the same thing, right? Because right now, we both seem to agree on a lot of things, but if there were someone who had...
And eventually, during the period of time, we kind of have understanding, so you can understand my opinions, I can understand
there is
yours.
That level
so like
of,
I can judge what you are going to say for my answer or my statement. So like the same vice versa. So if there is a third person, so we would have a difference in opinion. So like it would be very great for having episodes like debate. So it would be very great. So like there are many topics for us in the
debate is something, right? We've always been talking about it. That was something which Krishna told me like in the 10th episode or something. And I constantly I kept ignoring that idea because I think we are not meant to do debates, or in the sense that we cannot do debates. Like both of us agree on a lot of things. Like there are like n number of things which we agree on. So a debate would be practically impossible to do, I suppose.
Yeah, the introduction of a third person.
Yes, that would be something which we can do. Yeah, because maybe they might have something different, or in the sense that when there are 3 people, it does not feel like a debate, wherein it feels more like a discussion, and it would not be boring for them also, or the listeners also, to actually watch /
they would
listen.
also get they only seeing these 2 people always
exactly
talking.
Because that's the comment which we've been getting, right?
Constantly,
even one of our friends
constantly only these 2 people are speaking. Why not they bring in special guests or someone? So that may be also a very good idea, and
we both left social media as well, right? So there's no way for us to actually communicate with people. We've only been using LinkedIn for now, and without social media it's very difficult to stand like what do you say, kind of network with people, I suppose. So we both are only on LinkedIn. We'll probably give our LinkedIn descriptions down in the description below. So whoever wants to follow us on LinkedIn can do so, because since we don't have IG now, we don't have Instagram, we don't have Twitter as well, we don't have Snapchat as well. So the only place we can communicate is our official Gmail and our private Gmails.
Comment section.
And obviously where nobody's going to care about it, so let's not talk about it. And so there are only a few places where you can reach out, and if you really want to, as Krishna told, want to be part of a conversation, we would really love to have anybody who's interested. So that's right. So that was one thing which I wanted to talk about, and
the vibe of this episode kind of changed from a hopelessness kind of thing, and
that's how it started. It started very grim, right? I was basically venting in front of the camera. I was nearly close to crying, but somehow we tried to hold it.
You literally begged.
Even before the recording, I was nearly about to cry. It was really annoying, but okay.
But it turned out well. So
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, I have just a small announcement I'd like to make. I already told you this, Krishna, but I have this plan of starting a YouTube channel solely for the purpose of talking about books, because I could have talked about books here, but sadly Krishna is not, in the sense that we both do not have aligned genres. Like he reads history, more of war, that sort of angle, more of kind of like fiction, non-fiction, I suppose, and I am the one who inclines very more heavily towards fiction. So obviously
I'm in the starting stage, but
he's like, I told him to
very
read
much advanced.
This is not advanced would be a wrong terminology. I'm just more more relevant, or I guess I'm more involved in the habit, I suppose, and you're just coming into this like into the field. So I'd probably be posting a few books which I've recently read. So I'll intimate all of you. I'll talk more about it in the future in these impromptu conversations.
And also, I have a very, very small announcement on my part also. So like, I am, none of you know about this, but I am making a short film. So that is going to release pretty much soon in this year. So
probably in the coming
2 months or something.
2 or 3 months. Yeah.
So all this post-production work is going on, and I will also update on those. We will have a special video about it. So keep supporting us, and we hope that we get more views and we kind of change formats and see to a light coming. Hope.
Yeah, more and more hope coming in. The glimmer of that hope that you can probably see in our lives. Maybe in the near future, I suppose.
Yeah, probably.
So Krishna is doing his own thing. I'm doing his own thing. I'm doing my own thing. So we've talked about pretty much what we wanted to say. I don't think there's something new to talk about. We already reached about 15 or 16 minutes or so. I think that's probably enough. So regarding the outro, what else? What do we have to say? So if you have any comments, as we already told, we'd really love it if you probably comment anything. Pretty much, I do not care what you comment. But please don't swear. That's the only recommendation. Please do not criticize or insult anyone, and just comment whatever comes to your mind. Because I'm really hoping for some miracle to happen now.
Hi, we'll do everything.
Yeah, pretty much. You just have to respond. I want to build a community, and there's no community to build here. So that's out of the way. And regarding Anchor, we're obviously porting on Anchor as well. And Anchor has been really helpful, as Krishna told. 1 or 2 people from Kenya and USA and blah blah places have been listening. So I don't know if they're still listening, but okay, the algorithm does work, I suppose. So that's Anchor, and obviously Clubhouse is gone. Even though I mention it every time, it's pretty much dead now. So Clubhouse is out of the way. And obviously, if you want to communicate with us now, you would only have our Gmails. We give our LinkedIn as well, and that's only the 2 things which are seriously active, I suppose. So that's pretty. And we'll probably if you've not watched the relationships video which we already talked about, please go and watch it. It's really one of the good videos. So we'd probably put that square thingy on our faces probably now. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.